In Star Citizen Alpha 4.2.1, the scanning function as well as sub-targeting have been improved a little. So in this video, let's take a look at them in detail. Let's start with the ship scanning functions. Even though the ship scanning functions have been made better in this patch, but I found it still quite buggy sometimes, especially when there are multiple ships in one area. This is an ERT mission on Herson, so let's test this. We have multiple enemies, as you can see. So I want to scan a ship. I was a little too close. Let's pull away first. Whoa, there is a hammerhead as well. Ring fire. Whoa. Okay, let's pull away. First thing you need to know about ship scanning in Star Citizen is that you can scan both in navigation mode. So in navigation mode, you just need to adjust to the scanning mode. So you can scan both in navigation mode as well as in SCM mode. And you can both scan in the normal aiming or the aim down sight or precision mode. Another thing you need to make sure is that you have to give power to radar. Sometimes when you adjust the power management, you will lose the power for radar. That's why you couldn't scan any ship. So make sure you have power to radar. You can ping it right now. We see enemies. Now that is the hammerhead, 16 kilometers. Right now my scanning is weak, but I'm just gonna hold your mouse button. When you try to scan, you have to hold your left mouse button to scan. Now you can see the problem is I scanned that ship on my MFD. It shows hammerhead, but it gives me Anvil Hurricane. So there is a hurricane somewhere right there interfering with my scanning. That's the problem that I constantly had, is when there are multiple enemies in an area, it's really hard to scan the ship that you want unless you get really close. Well, he's burning closer to me, so I'm going to have my shield on. Now I'm gonna aim at hammerhead and still scan that hammerhead. My scanning angle is still 90 degrees. And you can see the scan bar when I scan 87%. Scanned. Oh, there we go. That's the hammerhead. Oh, I lost the scan thing. So I'm really close. Right on the nose, I scanned that hammerhead. Now, if I am not aiming at that hammerhead, my scan results are gone right now, so I have to go back. So aim at that hammerhead. Now, I can click parts. I can see all the parts the hammerhead has. Now it's gone again. And now, I see it. Now gone again. In real combat, if you fly a fighter, you want to scan that ship. It's really difficult. I'm flying a capital ship. My shield can hold all the fire right now. Oh, there we go. I got that scan. I want to see the cargo. Scroll all the way down. You can see the cargo. You have tungsten, scrap quartz, processed food, corundum, and copper, titanium, diesel spirits, medical supplies, iron, and then it's all the passengers. So that's the scanning detail you can see. In the first page, the info page, you can see the owner. If it's a player, it will show you the name for that player. And then faction, outlaws, signature, mass, mode, quantum mode. I don't think it's quantum mode. And one little trick that you might be able to improve the scan situation when you have multiple ships is to play around with a scan angle, which you can control by using your mouse wheel. So scroll up, you can see the scan angle right now is 2 degrees. Scroll down, the maximum is 90 degrees. So I'm gonna reduce it to 11 degrees and target that ship. I'm going to scan right now. That's a Connie scanning. You can see I'm at 15 kilometers. So that's the thing. It's improved. You can scan a ship fairly at long distance. You don't have to get really close to its weapon range to scan. So right now I just scanned that Connie with 11 degrees of scanning angle. However, scanning takes a few seconds right there. Now, by the county, there is another ship that's a Vanguard. So scanning the Vanguard, 15 kilometers. Let's see if yes. Oh, actually, no. See, when I scanned, even though the picture shows the Vanguard, but the status still shows the Constellation Towers, and the cargo is giving me the passenger for the towers. However, the county just passed me by. Now, going back to scan. Oh, see, I scanned the DOR, even though I have a very small angle for scanning. So it's still giving me a different ship when I try to scan the Vanguard. So in that case, I really need to get closer to scan. Give it even 2 degrees angle. Scan that Vanguard. There we go. I scanned the Vanguard. 11 kilometers. So you can scan a ship at a very long distance. However, when you have multiple ships there, it's really hard to scan the exact ship that you want to scan. So that is a problem. And once the ship is scanned, you will see the name for that ship. This only applies to one battle group on the ship. For example, I'm flying a Polaris. If I have multiple gunners on the ship, okay, now I am on the remote turret of the Polaris. Now you can see whatever ship that I just scanned on the pilot seat, I can see their name. And this one, I didn't scan, so I don't see that name. And that's the Vanguard I just scanned. And I can see that name. And the Hammerhead name shows. So it only shows one battle group on the same ship. If in your team, in your party, someone fly a fighter, the fighter has to scan that ship themselves. Otherwise, they won't be able to see that name. So that's the improvements and problem with the current scanning function. One last thing I want to add for the scanning function is I'm gonna try to scan a ship on a manned and a remote turret. So this is a remote turret again. And then I'm gonna try to scan a ship. So on the remote turret, you can even ping. So that has been changed. In the previous patches, you cannot ping when you're on a turret. Right now, you can see I can ping enemies. Let's scan that Hammerhead. Oh, maybe I cannot scan. It says scan is 0 and no target. So this is a remote turret. Try that ship. Nope. Remote turret, I cannot scan. Now let's go to a man turret. Alright, this is the man turret. So go to scan mode. Now you can see I have a 90-degree scan angle. So I'm gonna scan that ship. And make scan angle a little bit smaller. There are 2 ships flying together. So you will see the ship that you want to scan is highlighted yellow and purple. Oh. Yeah, quite difficult to scan that ship. I think I scanned. You can see the scan details. So even in the main turret, as long as you have an MFD, you can scan and have the detailed scan results. You can also ping in the main turret like that. Very nice. Alright, we need to destroy some of the enemies. Oh no, my ship is destroyed. Wow, they did a quick job for this.